I mean, this is definitely true. There's been some pretty funny memes about this on Twitter in particular. You know, I think Twitter is particularly prone to this, which is there's a lot of excellent game devs on Twitter who love looking at other people's games. And yeah, if you're getting 50 retweets every time for your tweets, is it like 49 other game devs and one person? And that is often the concern. So I think like you said, when you're making the first tree, I think if you can vary the platforms you're putting it out on and do more Imager and Reddit and TikTok, I'm a fan of the kind of more visual mediums now, because I think the whole internet is moving to being quite a visual medium. So I think stuff where you can see video of the game or at least GIFs of the game is really good. So if you're putting a bunch of stuff out there on Twitter and you're always getting interest, but you're not getting interest on the other platforms, then that might be an indication that you're accidentally maybe showing too much of the nuts and bolts of making the game and not really making things that are kind of attractive enough. So I think that's something to really think about carefully. But a lot of it's down to the kind of genre of game you're making as well. And so I do think it's a real good idea to look carefully at what's popular on Steam. And I look a lot at tags on Steam, and there's some websites which will show you the kind of the average revenue for each Steam tag. And so you can start getting an idea of like, you know, what's a really interesting game, but there's actually not many others like it, because the danger is always, you know, if you're making something like Hades style game, then I just feel like it's very, very crowded and there's already some front runners. So I think some of it is, and game devs may not notice this because they'll just feedback on the quality of the thing, but it's the quality, but it's also the kind of field you're running in. Are you like in the Olympic finals, or are you at your local sack race or local kind of sprint race with only people from the area, right?
Yeah, exactly. I had a theory, and I wanted to see what you thought about this theory. Twitter is very game dev centric, and I do agree. Like, I've had amazing like connections with people in the industry because of Twitter. I don't know exactly how many sales I've earned from Twitter. Like, I do have like a big launch GIF, and that would get like 1,000 retweets, and I think that helped a little bit. But here's my theory. While there are a lot of game devs on Twitter, and we retweet each other's stuff, other gamers follow other game devs, right? Like, is that like, so even if there's a game dev bubble, it still reaches out to like people who are buying lots of games. Like, do you think that's accurate?
Yeah, I mean, I do think like Twitter is still on my list of platforms that I think you should do. So I'm definitely not in the kind of like, this is a waste of time. And also, honestly, any affirmation you get for your game is nice. And there's a lot of people who are going to make great games who, you know, they want people to say they like them. So putting it on Twitter is great. I think the danger is when you think the sum total of your, in quotes, marketing campaign is your Twitter account. And then you just don't have a chance to kind of branch out and do other stuff. And particularly, I think, you know, Twitter is quite, some people run just Twitter and they don't run a Discord, for example. And I think that's definitely not good, because I think for a Discord, you will get more fans coming along. And even if you only have a few of them, it's really great to interact with them, bounce off ideas for your game and get into that kind of swift kind of iteration. And I think a lot of the best games do a lot of iteration with their fans, whether you have 300 or 300,000 during development of the game, because they will really help you refine your ideas and make good comments. So I think, and Twitter is more about showing things, I think, to people, showing work in progress. So yeah, so I think Twitter is fine, and you're right, it does have some reach, and it definitely, you know, getting 1,000 retweets on it means that you have a very GIFable game. You know, having a very GIFable game versus selling, there's not a one-to-one comparison with that, but it certainly helps. So definitely worth doing, I think.
Cool. No, that's interesting answer. Thank you. I will keep doing Twitter, but sometimes, yeah, I don't know. It's great for developers, but yeah, I do think most of the success I've seen is from Imager and Reddit. And now, like, if I were to start over, because 2021 is so different than 2017, I would probably start doing TikTok. TikTok is very organic, reach is awesome.
Yeah, I'm a big TikTok fan, particularly because a lot of these other platforms, like the Instagrams of this world, you do need to have a lot of followers to go viral. But TikTok's algorithm is so so capricious and kind of not random, but it can pluck stuff from any account. So I've seen a lot of devs who have TikToks, and you look at their views, and it's kind of like 200 views, 400 views, 400,000 views.
Yeah.
And you can do that if you have something that people want, like keep watching or hearting, or So I think that's the exciting thing about TikTok. You don't have to have an account with a lot of big following to blow up TikTok sometimes.
That's cool. That's really exciting. I'm glad it exists, because it's getting harder and harder with organic reach, but